been working on your persuasive opinion writing. And I thought, since I have a few people that are asking me the same types of things every day during writing workshop, I thought maybe I could teach you a certain skill, or kind of, not really teach you, I guess remind some of you about this skill and when you should use it within your writing, okay? Some of you when you're writing will ask me, hey, Mrs. Riley, how do you spell this word? Mrs. Riley, how do you spell this word? And I always tell you, either use your picture dictionary, use the word wall, if it's a word wall word, or I say, stretch it out, right? What I mean by stretch it out is, you can tap it out on your fingers, or you can stretch it as you write it to make sure that you have all the sounds in that word. So take this particular writing sample, for instance. Let me move this so you guys can all see it over here. I'm going to read it out loud to you. The words that I've underlined in red are going to be the words that some of you know how to spell a word, but some of you get to a word and it's a longer word and you think, ooh, I don't know how to spell that. So the words that are underlined in red, I'm pretending that I don't know how to spell those words. So I'm stretching out those sounds because they're a little bit longer. You might look at my writing up there, and if you know how to spell it, you might think, Mrs. Riley, that's not how you spell that word. But we each think a little bit differently, right? Listen to me read it. My grandfather, gr and father. I stretched it out. My grandfather had a farm when I was a little girl. In August, he would plant a row of seeds for each of his grandchildren. That's the sounds I hear. He wrote our names on a sign at the end of our row of seeds. Later in the fall, the seeds would grow into pumpkins. Pumpkins. That's how I hear it. We each picked the biggest pumpkin in our row to take home. Now, when I stretch out those words, I might be able to hear more sounds than what you hear when you're writing, because Mrs. Riley really knows how to spell these words, okay? Now, some of you really know how to spell some of these words too, because you've seen them in books or you've written them before. And that's great. But some of you get to these longer words, like today, Lily, I'm going to use you as an example. For a morning question, you said, Mrs. Riley, how do you spell Antarctica? That's a longer word. So I would suggest that when you get to those longer words, you tap them out, or you stretch out every sound that you hear. Because guess what I can do? While I'm writing, I can write, and then I can go back and go, you know what? I had to stretch that word out to hear all of the sounds. I'm going to stretch it as I write it, and I can do this. I can circle it on my rough drafts or my morning questions. And if I circle, like the word grandfather, I can go, you know what? Those are the sounds I hear in grandfather, but I'm not sure I spelled that correctly. So I could go back and check that in like a dictionary, like my picture dictionary, or my quick check book that's in your writing folders. If it's not in there, then if I've circled it and I'm using it for a final draft, I can always ask a friend or ask Mrs. Riley at the end if I spelled it correctly. Maybe she can help me. Okay? But I want you guys to try on your own first. Try to stretch out those sounds. So let's do a couple just for practice before you guys head back to your seats to do writing workshop today. How do you think we could stretch out dinosaurs if we wanted to write about dinosaurs today? Let's stretch out dinosaurs. Let's do it together. Okay? So it's D. What is that? D. Okay, now don't get ahead of me. D-I. What's the vowel sound?
I.
Remember, there's going to be a vowel in every word you write. No. Okay, so Flame says there's a small word no in there. Dino. Good. Dinos. Or.
O-R.
Okay, some of you are thinking, some of you are shaking your head and you're going, but that's because you know how to spell it. I'm just looking for the sounds right now for people who don't know how to spell dinosaurs. Dinosaurs means more than one. What do I need at the end?
S.
Now, someone like Jace, I know you're really good. You're a really good sight word speller. So someone like Jace is going, Mrs. Riley, that's not how you spell that. Which I understand. But if this is someone else who's really unsure how to spell dinosaurs, what do you think they would do in their writing right now after they've stretched out the sounds? Ava? You could ask someone, but I'm going to do this if it's in my writing. I'm going to circle it, right? Why do I circle it? Flame? You're not sure. That tells your brain, uh-oh, okay, you know what? I stretched it out the best I could. I'm going to move on and keep writing. And if I pick this as a final copy for writing workshop, then I'm going to come back to it. And I can spell it the correct way if it's still bothering me. Okay? What about if I want to try to spell the word helicopter? Let's do another example. Let's stretch that. What's it start with?
H.
Okay, I'm going to put it down here on this line. H-L-L.
E-L. H-E.
Hell. There's another vowel sound. Cop. Cop.
C.
Small word.
C-O-P.
C-O-P.
T-E-R. T-E-R.
E-R, because E-R is at the end of a word. Now, guys, we actually spelled that word helicopter correct. Do you see how together, I know we did it together, and at your seat you guys are going to do it differently, but we did it together where we stretched out all of the sounds. When we do phonics dance hunks and chunks, that's supposed to help you with your reading and your writing. Remember those hunks and chunks, because they're going to help you as you're writing your stories, okay? Today for writing workshop, you're still working on your persuasive writing letters. I want everyone, if you have longer words that you're writing, to think about stretching out those sounds you hear in the words before you ask a neighbor, okay? Thank you. Stay right here while I shut off the camera real quick, okay?